Hi there, a very good morning and good afternoon to all of you, depending on where you're watching me. This is Simply Stocks, and I'm live in this live session with you all. And today I want to talk to you about, as you would have seen in the heading, as to how a promoter selling or buying into their own stocks or companies' stocks affect the stock, and how should we take it, whether positive or negative on both sides, whenever that takes place. So we'll discuss about that, uh, and I'll also talk about the markets and answer your queries. So let's get things going. I hope your investment and trading journey is going well. It's Sunday morning out here. Hope your weekend has gone well. And yes, the markets are in a very difficult situation, and it seems like it's going to be like that for some weeks. But be fine and be healthy. Take care of your health and continue your investments, because after a while, after all this ends, we will have another rally in mid and small cap as well as in large cap stocks. So just to spend a few minutes on the markets first, and then I'll come to the basic point or crux of this video for this promoter activity on their own stocks, as to how should we take it. So the market has been resilient. It did not fall below 16,000 and then recovered. So one day it fell below 16,000, recovered extremely quickly, and showing signs of recovery, but I feel it's going to be range bound for at least the next 2 3 weeks. We have the RBI policy on the 4th of next month, and after that, probably we will see some sort of, you can say, or some kind of plateau for the market, and probably by the 15th of June we may see the markets bottoming out in earnest in terms of the mid and small cap, and some sort of a recovery is expected from there on in, although I don't see major up move like the major big move that we saw in late 2021 or second half of 21. A similar kind of move can only be possible, I believe, after monsoon. I think till monsoon it's going to be up and down. Yes, the downside might be arrested and we could be range bound till September, early October. But after that, we may see a lot of move in the market, overall market, the broader market I'm talking about, not the Nifty. In terms of the Nifty, I think it's going to be between 16,800 to 15,800. The 1,000 points range should be maintained for the next 3 4 months. But the mid and small cap may fall next month even more. So I'm not ruling out another 20% fall in all mid and small cap stocks. Uh, Even the better ones falling 15 20% from here. But then there will be some bottom to it. So just to give you an example, and this stock is in my portfolio, KPIT, at around 440, 430, 440, or whatever, 450 it is. 90 rupees down from there, around 360 or so. Looks extremely attractive at 10 rupees EPS current and 14 rupees forward. So that is the kind of fall that could still take place over the next 1 month, but that should be it. So that's the extremities, that 20% from here on all mid and small cap stocks you can take. That could happen. That may not happen, so I'm not saying that is going to happen, but that is a probability, that is a possibility over the next 1 month. And then from there on in, I'm sure there will be a lot of value in the market, and in most of the stocks, where the growth is extremely robust and there is visibility of growth. As I explained, IT has that. It is just that the valuations were so stretched in October, that stocks started to fall from there. But right now, I believe mid cap IT looks extremely attractive. Although people are talking of a further downside there could be a possibility, as I explained, 15 20%. But then the move could be big because the numbers will still remain robust for the next 1.5 years. So that's the call. There could be other sectors that could do well, because the market may lighten up even further, as I'm trying to say here, over the next 3 weeks or so. And then things could start looking better on the numbers and the valuations front. And by that time, I also believe that all these traders who have come in 2020 and especially in 21, and made money and wanted to make money in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, and every month you take out uh, 15-20%. Every week you're going to make 4-5% and all that. Those will go out over the next 1 month if another 20% fall come in. Many have uh, gone out, and that is the nature of this beast. That is how this market behaves. And then the market will become so light that the informed investor, larger investors, would get into the market. So Rakesh, morning. Vikas, hi. Ravi, morning. Said, morning to you. Uh, Happy Sunday to you, Ravi, as well. Shashi, a very good morning. Uh, so hopefully this time around, if we can, so basically what I want to say is that even if we are short-term investors, if we can ride this tide for the next 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, I think things could look up. Not straight away, it's not going to be a vertical recovery, but over the next 3-4 months, there will be a sort of a base foundation made and base made between July till, you can say, September, October, and then the big move I believe is expected in the festive season from October to March, which will take everything up, which won't take just the festive stocks up, the consumer stocks up, which will take everything up to an extent, and we would get better exit points, profits, exits in profits in most of the stocks. So that will be the time, probably March, April, late March, late April or so. That would be the real time of probably minting money if one can hold on. So probably 8 to 10 months from now, we would be better off because see, uh, we all know about interest rates that they will go up. We all know about inflation. We all know how the conditions of global economy is and Indian economy is with respect to inflation. So this has to be factored in over a period of time, and I think that will take 4 to 6 weeks, 3-4 weeks to do that, and then the market will take out the best of the stocks and remove the other stocks, and the stocks that would not perform for the next 1 or 2 years may not get re-rated, but the other stocks will be re-rated. So that's my call on the market. Now coming to the point which I wanted to explain. So there have been queries about this, that promoter sells and the stock goes down. Sometimes promoter sells and the stock doesn't go down. There's a reversal in the stock. So what happens? How should we take promoter selling, promoter buying in earnest in a company? So Anirudh, thanks for your contribution. Can we average InfoEdge now? Considering the results are good, results are very decent, but really I don't know where the stock is headed from here, because quarter on quarter margins has dipped, year on year margins have expanded big time. uh, what you can do is buy some now, and on every decline you can accumulate, but do not rush to buy everything right now. You don't know whether, I mean, it could go up another 6-7% on the result and then start to fall again. So kindly take that on a note. So, in terms of that, I did some research. I had read one book of one of the large investors, of the previous investors, Peter Lynch, and I means I don't read a lot of books, first of all, so I have read, as you can say, excerpts of that, of the Peter Lynch book, and so this is a kind of an explanation that he gave, which I find very prudent. So basically, promoter sells a stock for a number of reasons. It is not just because they find that the stock is expensive, so let's sell it and we'll make money, and the stock is set to go down once promoter sells it. It doesn't happen like that. Although, if you look on the other side of the coin, when promoter buys into a stock, that is extremely positive. So what it turns out to be is that if the promoter is buying big time, that is something to be looked at very closely, because promoter buying can happen only for two reasons. One is because the company is set to do well. In fact, for one reason, which is the company is set to do well over the next 1 to 3 years. And For that matter, probably the promoter will go ahead over 6 9 months period to either have a buyback at a very high price, or will have results that could surge the stocks even further from the level that the promoters are buying. So promoter buying is a complete positive, is something where if the promoter are buying big time, that is a clear sign that the stock over 2 years, not over the next 3 4 months, sometimes over 4 5 months as well, but over 2 years 3 years, could become very big. Second thing is now coming to the promoter selling part. Whenever the promoter selling happens, so normally what I have gauged and read about and analyzed, that there are primarily three reasons for promoters selling in a particular stock. Number one reason for that could be that they need funds for themselves. So buying a house, buying something else, buying property majorly, uh, promoters sell. If the promoters are selling huge chunks. For example, promoters are selling big time. Somebody who's holding 10% stake is selling 1% every 2 weeks and exiting it completely in 3 4 months. And all normally that happens in a situation where that promoter itself is exiting the company. For example, in Sequent as well as in IB Real Estate, what has happened is that the previous promoters have sold stake at 220, 230, 250 in case of Sequent. Similarly, in IB Real at 110, 120, 100, 130, 140 at all those levels. And they are the individuals who are going to become retail in you can say individual investors, because they are not no longer promoter of the company. So you have to analyze whether the persons who are selling are those who are going to exit the company, there is somebody else who's going to take over the company or not. So that is the second reason. The third major reason which I have found is for a promoter to sell and sell big time, is sometimes what happens is that large investor comes in, whatever, whether a fund house or an investor or a individual large investor want to buy 10 15%, 5%, 6%, 3% stake in the company, and rather than going on the bourses and buying at market prices, they negotiate prices with the promoter. So what happens is promoter offloads its stake, and that large investor is going to stay with the company for the hopefully for the next 2 3 years, buys into the stake. So it is not that the promoter is selling because the stock is going to go down or the valuations are extremely heady. So these are the three prime reasons why promoters sell normally stocks. Apart from that, if you don't find these three reasons uh, in their disclosures and all, then there is a case for worry. But normally it doesn't happen that promoter is selling 8 times out of 10. It doesn't happen that promoter is selling big time, so the stock is destined to go down. But on the other hand, if the promoter is buying a big time, then for sure there is something that is going to happen that is going to trigger a major reversal in the stock. Rakesh, thanks for your contribution. Do you see more downside in mid cap IT? See, I explained that just at the start of this video. I think another 15 20% in IT stocks is possible. Large cap could be 10 12%. For example, an TCS could go down to 2,900 even, or 3,000 for that matter, around 3,000 3,100. Similarly, other stocks could also go down in that same range, and mid caps could go down 15 to 20%. So that's why I said something like Birla Soft at 360 could go to 270 280. Nothing is going to stop it from going to 260 270 280. My point here is that over the next 1 month, if we can bear that pain, whether we are down 30% now, will go down another 15%, will be down 45%. If we can bear that through, these are top quality companies. All those companies, if you have bought top quality companies which are earning at the range of 25 30% CAGR, they will reverse faster. And probably from July onwards, we'll see you can say a level, a bottom made, and then a run up, and then another downside, but that bottom will not be broken. And so July to September will have a consolidation phase in which a base will be formed, and then all these IT stocks will perform. So that's the call. I've just explained that earlier as well. So basically, there are three, four reasons main why the promoters sell, which I've explained, and that has nothing to do with the stock price going down. But if the promoter is buying big time, it has happened in Mirza International, it has happened with Tanla, it has happened with Dixon, it has happened with Kilpist, it has happened with a number of stocks in which the promoters on the bottom have bought and then probably gone ahead with a buyback and then bought even more later on and all that. When selling happens, then there could be a number of reasons. So selling is not a reason to sell your stock. You need to analyze how valuations are, what is your time frame, etc. Selling by promoter is not a reason to sell the stock. That's what I wanted to explain. Okay, Rakesh, thanks for your contribution. My view on Supriya Life Sciences. See, both are very good companies, but the results have not been that great, especially with NGL Finecam. Whatever that was expected, the results have not been in that same vein. If you are holding, hold on to the stock, because whenever there is a mid and small cap rally, these stocks will rally, and that's when you can exit. If you have not bought, do not buy these stocks. I would prefer you buying into small cap companies which are growing at 25-30% at least, and are expected to grow either at the same pace or at a greater pace. I'm talking of not sales growth but profit growth. So that's what you need to look at. For example, Kilpest came out with the results, and there have been a lot of queries. Kilpest is a stock that I hold at the moment in my core portfolio for the next 7-8 years, hopefully. The results are very decent at 20 crores, 21 crores sales, and the kind of profitability it has produced in a quarter which is non pandemic. So, what I want to see now, so basically, they have grown 33% over the last 2 years in the non pandemic business. So if they have grown 33% CAGR on the sales front, they have grown the same in the profit front as well, or even more. So going forward, I expect Kilpes to do extremely well in FY23, and that's where I would look at closely how the numbers pan out. It would be much lower than the 80 crores for the year it has produced, but the company is growing 30-35% on the top and bottom line. So that is the kind of these are the kind of companies you have to find. Don't worry about the stock price. I am down 20% on Kilpest. You could be down 30-40% in a small cap stock, but these recover extremely quickly, as I explained in my last session as well. All right, so I'm ready to answer your queries. Kindly use the super chat and super sticker feature. That will help me grow the channel. That will help you also ask me questions and eke out answers in greater detail. See, Avanti Feeds is good. I think you can get 20% CAGR on the stock, and majorly the business of all these fish feeds and all these aqua feed, etc. It would do well once economy completely opens up, and there is you can say a kind of a drop in exchange prices, especially global. You can say exchange prices, and also there are a lot of headwinds for this company. So SHIL, I believe SHIL is headed towards 1200 over the next 3 years. I believe it could do extremely well, but I have said that time and again, and the stock has fallen. So kindly be careful in buying into it. It's your decision, but if you are patient over 3 years, the stock could do extremely well, and the results were pretty good. See, Divi's Lab, you can accumulate, but don't expect immediate, you can say, returns big time. Although 10-15% upside is a possibility. If you're looking for 10%, then keep a stop loss likewise. But from a long term point of view, looks attractive. But you need to understand in pharma what is happening now, especially in not in animal healthcare but in human pharma companies, is that US FDA has become more vigilant, and so there could be a lot of bombshells here and there on many of the pharma companies coming from the US FDA front. So be careful on that part as well. See, I have not. See, I don't analyze penny stocks. I won't be able to comment on them at all. I look at least a market cap of more than 1,000 crores to look at, except for Kilpes, which I've known about for the last 4 or 5 years. So there's no doubt in me for investing into it. Otherwise, I don't get into any company which is under 1,000 crores that easily. So I don't look at penny stocks at all. See, I would avoid India Mart. I would look at numbers, and once numbers improve, and then only get into it. India Mart was a big play on the closure of the economy and the way people were ordering online. You can say office products because they were working from home basically. Now things have changed, so we need to be careful in on that front. See, simple thing is whatever you buy or hold, their numbers should improve going forward. That's the only way the stock will go up. In a high liquidity market, when there is a lot of money in slashing around, then everything goes up. But in this kind of a market, even when the recovery happens, it would be those stocks that are generating 25-30% profit growth and are at reasonable levels would move higher. So DMART around these levels is very attractive, but again, a 2 to 3 year play. I won't say that in next 1 year it's going to just go up to 5,000, 5,500. What you need to be doing is, if you can buy here from a 2 years perspective, you can get 50% upside on DMART. All right. See, I don't know about PCBI. If you can just elaborate on that stock, I'll be able to explain. All right. So there is an helicopter going up. So kindly wait for that. All right. See, both are looking good, Newgen and Birlasoft. So I think Birlasoft at 360 looks good. Although I still believe 300 is a possibility there. So start accumulating here. You don't know whether there could be more fall. Somehow I believe that next 1 month could still be difficult for some of the stocks. For some, they might go up, so the index may not fall. But some still mid and small cap companies, there's a chance, especially in the IT stocks, for them to fall another 15-20%. That would be a capitulation. See, NBCC in a high interest rate environment is very difficult to say, and the numbers have not been that great. What I can say is that you can start accumulating. It's not a trading bet at this moment. Looks extremely attractive. If you have 2-3 year view, then looks very good. It could double over the next 2-2.5 years. Yes, NBCC can. See, I won't suggest buying into a PI industries for long term. If you really want to buy into chemicals, then Pidilite, then UPL looks good. Sumitomo Chemicals looks good with the kind of numbers that it produces. I am not tracking Likita company infrastructure and all these, so I won't be able to comment. All right. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thanks a lot for being online. We'll be online again on Thursday. Please like and subscribe my channel. Hit the bell icon so you can get the video straight away when I post it. And kindly subscribe to my channel. Thank you.